Guys, this is Sophie McCrae here. Just a little background information. I am 27, I'll be 28 in 2 months. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who's 4 and a son who is 1.5. I am separated from my ex-husband. He does co-parent. He's a great father, so I'm lucky to have that. However, when I do have the kids, it's really hard for me to get things done, which is why I have chosen to become an LVN. So, few reasons why I wanted to become an LVN. One, I enjoy helping people. I had actually applied to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and I got in. I passed the background test, I passed the physical and everything, and then things kind of hit the fan, excuse me, in the beginning of this year. There was a lot of protests going on, there was a lot of racial injustice, there was a lot of police brutality, and I was kind of faced with the dilemma. It was, do I want to keep going down this career path and, be the change you want to see, right? Do I want to be a person who I know would be great in that field, who would think logically and compassionately and treat people equally, no matter if they've done something wrong. It doesn't matter if somebody's done something wrong. Like, yes, of course, there are laws put in place for reasons, but that doesn't mean we can take life just anytime that we want. So I backed out of the process. I realized that I want to be here for a long time for my children, and I felt like if I chose that career, if I continued it, that wasn't going to happen. So I stopped. And then nursing is something that I've always kind of looked into. So why LVN and not RN? Well, there's a few different reasons. One, like I said, I am a mom of 2. I do support myself. My ex-husband does a lot for our children. He continues to help me with them financially, and then of course he has them more than half of the time. So dedicating myself to a 4-year program isn't really an option for me right now. I want to become an LVN and hopefully land a great job in that career. And then maybe down the line, if I have more time, maybe when my kids are older and they're a little bit more independent, maybe if I have a little bit more financial freedom, then the RN is something I definitely want to look into. I think in California, you have to have your BSN, your Bachelor's in Science of Nursing, to work in hospitals as an RN. Right now, I'm a manager at a restaurant. I've been working in restaurants since I was 17, straight out of high school. I've done other things. I've done daycare teaching. I've worked in an orthodontic lab. That was fun. I've done lots of things, but restaurants have been my main go-to. I have a lot of experience. I've been a manager off and on for the past, I want to say like 5 years. So it's great. It's given me a lot of experience. Hopefully I can take that management experience and apply it in the healthcare industry. So I'm doing an LVN program. I'm doing a healthcare management undergraduate certificate, and I'm finishing my AA. So hopefully with all of that, by the time I'm done with this and I'm hopefully working as an LVN, I can, if I want to, easily transition into a bachelor's RN bridge program. Okay, one of the things that was an issue for me is here where I live in Southern California, it's kind of like a secluded desert. There's not a lot of schooling options. Of course, there's online schools. We do have a community college here in our town, and we have one about another 40 minutes towards Barstow and another 45 minutes down the hill. That's what we call it. We live up the hill. Down the hill in Rancho, there's Chaffey College. There's another one in San Bernardino, which is probably like 50 minutes away. So there are those types of community colleges nearby, as well as Cal State San Bernardino is nearby. We do have Azusa Pacific University. That one, they worked really hand in hand with my community college, VVC, and they take a lot of our students and we transfer into there very easily. There's a few schools that VVC works with. But I've taken my classes at VVC, not all of them. I'm almost done with my AA. However, our nursing program is kind of hard to get into, being it's the only nursing program in our area unless you were to drive like an hour away. It's very competitive and the wait list is kind of long. I do recommend it because you're always going to save money going to community college. There are a lot of financial aid options offered. It's a great program. My aunt did her nursing program there at BBC. She works in labor and delivery. She actually delivered my baby, my first one, Olivia. I really recommend that program. I've also had friends who've done the respiratory therapy there. I've had friends become EMTs there. And then I've just had a ton of friends that have transferred out onto like their bachelor's program at different colleges. So I'm not discrediting BBC. Just for me as a single mom, I need something that is fast-paced, that I could get into easily, something that was accredited. So I chose a college called High Desert Medical College. It's still a little bit of a drive. It's about a 45-minute drive in a different direction. The direction that I'm going to be driving has a lot less commuting traffic. Down the hill, a lot of people from our desert work down the hill, and it gets really congested. The Cajon Pass can get kind of dangerous. The weather can get kind of bad as well. I had a lot of friends who, I know a ton of people who commuted down the hill for school and they did just fine. But for me, I have a little bit of anxiety when it comes to driving like that. So I chose to go the opposite direction. And also, High Desert Medical College had a 100% pass rate on their 2019 NCLEX testing, which to me speaks volumes. That was really impressive to me. They had great reviews. I think they also had a really high percentage rate of their job placement afterwards, because they have that program where they help you find jobs, and most of the students get hired at the clinicals that they were working at. So that was those were the main reasons why I decided to go to High Desert Medical College. My program is going to be 13 months long. It's divided into 3 different trimesters, and between each trimester you get a week vacation, which is cool. My class schedule is going to be, 7 a.m. or is it 8 a.m.? It's either 7 or 8, all the way until 4 p.m. until clinicals start. And then just depending on where you get your clinicals, you could most likely be working like an evening shift. And obviously that's off campus, so I have no idea how far I'm going to be driving for my clinicals. But honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I will make it happen. What other things should I talk about? So when I applied for High Desert Medical College, now mind you, I did my research. I looked into dozens of vocational programs for LVN. I looked into RN. I also looked into CNA, and I thought maybe that was something I could do temporarily. So I looked into tons of schools. High Desert Medical College was my favorite, and I got in. So to apply, I obviously had to apply online. And then I did, I think, a quick phone interview, and then they had me come in and talk in person a little bit more about what the program was like, how difficult it was going to be, to see if I was really interested and I was going to be up for the task. Once I had that interview and I officially wanted to apply, I had to turn in my high school diploma, my college transcripts. I had to get a physical done. I had to get my tuberculosis testing. But for me, I turned in the chest x-ray because I am a TB carrier. So I turned in my x-ray. I had to do a personal statement about why I wanted to be a nurse and why I wanted to go to High Desert Medical College. And then I had to take the HESI. So I studied for that because it's been a while since I've taken a math class in college, and definitely a long time since high school. So I did pass my HESI. What else did I have to do? And then I had to meet with the financial aid director, and then I had to do the interview with the director of nursing. And then once all that was done, obviously they have a lot of applicants. I want to say that she said that they have on average like 70 applicants each new start of the program. and they only accept 30 students. So I did get in, and I'm so happy. I worked really hard. Another thing I want to tell you guys is I've waited a really long time for this. So when I was 21, I got married. At 23, we had our daughter. And then at 27, we had my son. So my life just kind of got put on hold so I could be a stay-at-home mom, fortunately for them. But it did put a setback on like my career goals and, you know, what things I wanted to do for myself. That got put on hold. So I'm finally excited that like I have this time and the opportunity to finally pursue my goals and get a career for myself. You know, my ex-husband has a career, and it was really hard for me not having one. So now it's finally happening. I know that it's going to be a lot of hard work, especially since there's multiple things that I'm going to be working on. Fortunately, obviously at the community college, I can drop out of classes as long as, you know, I'm within the time range and it not affect my transcripts. And then the program that I'm taking online for the healthcare management undergraduate certificate, that is self-paced. So they said on average it takes about 6 months for students to complete, but you have up to a year. And if you don't finish within that year, then you pay a small fee. It gives me a lot more experience studying, you know, the healthcare industry. And I would like to be a manager. I love being a manager. And I know that restaurants and the healthcare industry are completely different, but I know that I work well under stress. I know how to lead people in a kind way and not in like a micromanage, I'm in a nitpicky way. So I definitely think I can apply myself there. I know that I have a lot going on and it's going to be a long, like, year and a half, but I can do it. And I have a great support system, which is another important thing when you embark on this. But even if you don't, like, if you really want something, you're going to make it happen. It just takes your dedication, your drive, your determination, motivation, and discipline. Definitely discipline. I think I've talked way too much. But if you guys have any questions about the colleges that I'm a student at, if you have any questions about the colleges I'm a student at, about my personal life, about any decisions that I've made, then feel free to comment. I will try to look at them as much as possible. I mean, I don't have any subscribers yet, but hopefully I do. Okay. Thanks.